Hey everybody, we're back.
Once again.
Kind of a long hiatus. Mike and I were just talking about this when he came over tonight, and we hadn't unboxed since before Thanksgiving. And
I want to say the last ones we recorded sometime in like July, maybe August.
You're right. No,
we had
it was before the show.
Like 9 or 10 boxes.
It was June.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I brought 330 new slabs to my show.
So it was 13 boxes altogether, and then that's what I've been kind of, I guess, living off of, just slowly releasing them.
Yeah, you had probably about 7 or 8 videos.
We started unboxing that night, I think around 5:30, and I think we finished around 10:30 that night. It was like 5 hours of just, and this place was a mess. There was comics everywhere.
Yeah, we were neck deep in bags and boxes.
But tonight we got bellies full of chana masala, and I fed Mike good with some Indian food. When he came over.
First meal in 2 weeks.
And then I'm just going old school tonight. Our unofficial sponsor, Genesee. And Mike's got the
I've got the seasonal Jenny brew here.
I'm down to
Ruby Kolsch.
I think 2 cases of that.
I might have 5 cans of beer that are about 8 years old in my fridge.
Delicious.
Yeah, dusty.
So, lots happened since we've all been together here.
Yeah, we've got a few boxes that have opened. Oh, we had that collection of, I had that Golden Age tiny pedigree that most of the books in that collection were like Mile High Caliber, but we didn't record that one. But yeah, I think there's been some news recently other than
those in the industry.
Pedigree collections.
I will say there's a lot more people on YouTube comics than I ever remember.
Yeah.
So for a while it was like, Nick and some of the other original people kind of stopped making videos and stuff. And then there was like not a lot of people. And
Nick who? Oh, you mean this guy right here?
yeah. We'll put a picture of Nick up there. And I stay in touch with Nick and John and Anthony. We still all message each other and stuff. Nick's doing fine, if anyone was wondering.
And his sister was actually in remission too.
That's awesome. That's always good news. So anyway, hey Nick. We
stalk you every day.
But now I just see there's this whole new breed of people out, and these videos they're all like this. Here, I'm going to imitate. This is all the thumbnails are like this. And it's just like I know Mike asked me before, why do you do this channel, and I enjoy sharing my stuff, because when I first started watching YouTube, I liked the channels where the guys just showed the new stuff and they were genuinely excited about what they had, especially if they were like on a quest. Like Anthony. I started watching Anthony very early on, where he was on a quest to get his EC books. And each person kind of had their thing. Like you watch Alan Garrett, and he's just trying to complete his entire collection.
So let me pose this question to you. You kind of read my mind here, and Mickey. I know you commented on this recently, the facial poses and stuff, which is always fun. All in good humor. I was going to ask you, thinking about this, and we got an unboxing to do here, so stick with us. It's a smaller unboxing. We have a little bit of time to editorialize. So I was going to ask you, what is your mission for a YouTube channel? What is your vision? What is your what is it called? The reason to be of your channel? What would you say in a few sentences? The purpose.
Anyone that's watched this a long time knows I have no intention of being an influencer. Have you looked around? I'm kidding. Mostly just to have fun and to interact with the comic community. Nick and I used to have that show, and then Anthony and John came on with us, and then Anthony and I after. And then when I initially started, it was just like I'd do those what I call paper time machines, where I would talk about certain issues or how I got into the hobby. And then I was doing those for a while, and then 2-Minute Tuesdays and things like that. But then you and I started doing these unboxings, and that's when typically I'd get 200-300 views per video, and then some of the videos are 4,000 or 5,000 views, because people they loved it. Now this is just common. I mean, when you and I first started doing this, there wasn't a ton of people doing the reveal live. Like I don't remember anyone, like it's hard, and anyone that submits, you can go right in and you can see your grades.
We did it back in, I think 2016 was when we first started doing it. Then you recorded the first one in 2017. And we didn't call them, they're named blind unboxings now. it was just always the thing I've done since 2001. Really, is doing that way to kind of.
Mike and I used to do this, and then we'd go. There was a Mexican place we used to always go to, and like I would eat a tub of guacamole.
The guacamole boxing.
Mike would be like selling books as we were eating corn chips. I remember one time,
$4,000 during that
he
one
sold a
tamale we had.
Yes, he sold a $4,000 Spider-Man comic, and I
It
remember,
was a 101. I sold for $2,000. It was the first 9.4 that broke a record, and I also sold Detective 411.
While we were sitting in this Mexican restaurant, so it was just once then.
Like,
you know, I said, why don't we just
tequila's on me?
Well, I do this goofy little thing where I turn the camera on and I just talk about comic book stuff. I said, let's do an unboxing, and it was at your house. Was the first one we did.
Yeah, we did several over there.
And you know,
you locked me in my basement.
I started getting emails and stuff like that.
In your truck.
People were excited about it, and you know, I don't know. It just, but that to me has always been what I wanted to do. Is just kind of have fun. And along the way, I know, you know, people have emailed me, you know, Travis and a couple others that they really, me looking at the camera, Silver Age Dave, he told me, he said, I would say any of you guys can do this, and people started doing it, and then it kind of exploded, and there was all these different channels, and people interacted more now. Now it's more like, I feel like people consume the channels. So there's a group of, I don't know, they all look like they're in their early 30s, and they're kind of hybrid collectors. They've kind of got onto what you and I have always done, where we sell comics not for money, not to heat the house or pay your mortgage. It's so we can feed our addiction and buy more comics.
Yeah.
They've all got into that, only they kind of do it more like a business, but they have three ways of doing it. They have their personal collection, they get stuff to flip, and then they also, I think a lot of people are making money off their channels, because routinely these guys will have these videos that, like, I look and I'm like 6,000-7,000 people have watched this video.
A problem you will never have.
And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, I don't talk about modern comics. I don't talk about.
We don't talk about pricing. You know, a lot of that. Just kind of the.
I do like that. There's I can't remember his name. I'll put your name in here. That I've been watching him lately. He's kind of beard. He's a Southern guy, very polite. He's getting in. It looks like he's just getting back into collecting, and he's really starting to do pressing and stuff. He's doing a good job of it. But he does this thing where he shows what he bought it for, and then sometimes they're already sold, and it's kind of a fun thing. We've never done that. Yeah. I mean, we talk about, like, sometimes I see these guys like, oh, this is a $30,000 submission, and I'm just like, oh, that's kind of cool. But that night we did that was probably $200,000 of the comic books we opened up.
$350,000.
Yeah. So I mean, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Yeah, so I guess the point of my question was, the phrase I was trying to think of was the raison d'etre. What's the purpose? What's the reason for your channel? And it's kind of fun to subdivide that into. It seems like more of you want to share that enjoyment. And having some of these books that a lot of your personal books that you've got, or maybe you got lucky to get a good collection, you want to sell some of that off. You want to share that exuberance. Yeah. And along the way too, share some of that knowledge, because I don't know about you, but I probably submitted somewhere in the order of 5,000 plus books to CGC. Oh, yeah. So I've seen a lot, a lot of... You
know what, the other thing that's gone away that people used to do a lot, and there's a reason why they don't do it. People used to show their list of what they were going to try to get that year. Yeah. And everyone loved that in January.
A few people.
But people don't do it now, because they don't want people saying, "Oh, that is a cool book," and now you got more competition.
Yeah. Anthony published his.
He does still publish it. But I know some of these other younger guys now. They mention it like, "No, there's books I'm going after, but I'm not going to tell you what they are." Yeah.
And that's kind of a segue. And you and I have talked about this recently, that you're still thinking about doing some more content in the coming year.
Yeah. Well, I talked about that on Christmas. I just went live on Christmas, and I do get, people, Alan and others, will mention to me that they like the paper time machine things, and I'm going to probably do a little bit more of that this year. I might do more of the skits. I don't know. To me, those were for me. I don't know if anyone even liked them. I do think some people actually like Frank better than me. I've gotten comments before, like, why didn't you stop showing comics? Why didn't you just show Frank? And just like, all right, fair enough.
So I guess the bottom line is you can make a lot of content, and there's lots of opportunities for commentary. As I recently saw, which I thought was funny, is you can get on that hype train and clang that bell. There's plenty of chances to do that.
The whole CGC thing going on. And we talked ahead of time, and Mike and I have both been collectors since the 70s, and there's pros and cons. There's ways.
And we've talked offline.
You could fix the case. You could do this and that, and I think CGC is going to do stuff. And what I noticed, and it's with anything, is people get all crazy about stuff, but it's human nature. Most people are pretty lazy. 2 to 3 weeks, no one's even gonna be thinking about it.
And honestly, we both do this in our professional careers. I'm actually a specialty. I'm a Lean Six Sigma black belt, so I specialize in process efficiency. Whenever there's a security data breach, security violation, I've worked on projects from small to hundreds of millions of dollars.
I do risk management.
We look at this stuff, and we've been in litigation before, so it's kind of like what I think of as when you're involved in this in the trenches, especially if you're directly involved with it, whether you're not using the product or service or a direct employee, it's be careful what you wish for. The malapropism is it's Pandora's box of whoop ass, because what you're going to get. You can be thinking, and it's happened recently in the community. You can make some comments that may be helpful, but then you're strung up to dry.
There's always things like right now. There's a guy typing right now. 5 minutes in, I haven't seen a single comic book douchebag.
so we're going to talk mostly about comics and share that fun unboxing part. We could talk endlessly about other topics. We talked about it personally. One exception, and that is this box. We just got back a box of Moderns. So that was our prologue. We got back this box of Moderns. They sat in grading for 3 weeks. Yeah. So if I put on my process hat in the corporate world, something was
3 weeks
changing.
Where all that stuff went down.
Yeah, something was changing. The books don't stall in grading for 3 weeks prior to encapsulation. I have other information I've gotten in the recent days that lead me to believe that there are changes that have happened, not just process-wise.
Mike was down there last week, actually.
So yes. So I have a strong circumstantial evidence that there's something different about these books.
Yeah, we're going to go over the case. So Mike brought some visual aids for those of you. This would be fun show and tell, like when you were a little kid. He has all 3 of the main versions of the cases. And now that we have one out of the box here, we can give it a quick look over and see if there's anything different. I do feel a little bit here. This weld feels a little bit heavier on the side than I'm used to. But anyway, so you ready to
we'll take a picture of this and we'll stick it up here. These are the 3 generations of cases. But I brought these as reference points. And we'll do a quick analysis here on the actual video. So
first up,
go ahead.
X-Men 129.
This is my book.
Kitty Pryde.
It's my newsstand edition.
Really nice. I've noticed that people are getting pickier now about newsstand. Like they want newsstand over, direct.
And you always want the more scarce,
Yeah, and I think as time went on, they were more scarce. I think early on, they were the majority.
Initially, that's all you had. Right. Well, 194 Spider-Man was, majority that were newsstand. This one I thought was a 9.4.
Put on the glasses.
Get your eye transplant. And we're like 12 minutes into it.
It's close.
9.4. Boom. Boom. 9.4. Okay. So now give me the case. I've been thinking about this.
I don't see anything different.
Oh, yes, no, there's a difference. There's actually a difference.
Yeah, look at the side here.
Hold on. Let's do the real test. So this generation of case, I posted this over on Rick Morgan's channel. Hey, Rick, if you're watching this, Immaculate Comics. The comments get lost in the noise, the clanging of the hype bell. So this generation of case, the top and the bottom are not always sealed.
Yeah.
And if you want to go back, give ETA Nick props, because that was a helpful feature if you had Newton rings or there was some little debris in there. You can actually take a piece of Mylar or a strip of cardboard and you can fish it in there. Tons of videos on how to get rid of those Newton rings that way. But that was a bonus, but it works against the security. So usually you can slide. I can't.
No, I know.
You can usually slide your fingernail in there. This is all 4 sides.
Yeah. It felt different too. You notice like you could do that creaky normally? Because that's how you break into it.
So here's one.
Normally you just turn them and you can kind of creak them a little bit and then you can get your fingers in and they pop right open.
So here's one from a few months ago. And let me show you here, if you can actually see. This top and bottom of these cases have always been this way for this generation.
If you feel, Mike, there's a slight bevel on this.
And it flexes, this flexes a little bit. When I do this to the case,
This does not.
I can feel the seam move on the palm of my hand. That's actually sealed. Now, I will say this is, most guys that do CPR, if you crack cases, you know this too.
It's really heavy weld there.
Yeah, that's the injection molding
Yeah.
seam. It's not a weld. People that do CPR know this. It's not been a secret. Is you can usually pop these cases open this generation by prying open the top or bottom.
Yeah.
And once in a while, maybe 1 out of 20 or 30 of them, they're sealed so tight, I got to break the actual case. So that's 1 of 1. That's the control right there. So that may be, actually get it back. There's something else different too, I just noticed. They changed the weld on the inner well. Yeah, it's different. See the corner? See how that inner weld is curved? That's brand new. They changed the inner well weld. Because what they used to have is they would just do a straight run up to the corner, but it's more like a crosshatch.
So anyone that's broke these open before, sometimes you get it to that inner well, and it's not even really attached. It just comes right
So let's
apart.
do this. We'll pop up an image right here of the inner well welds and the new one, but that one's curved. Yeah. So no one's really complained about the inner well yet. There are some security issues with the inner well. We won't get into here, but they changed the welding on the inner and the outer case. At least on that one, it's 1. Let's see if you can go.
Are you going to get into the speculation?
Yeah.
I
So
no
hey,
idea.
this is a different design.
I have no idea what's going to go on.
Oh, this is your book.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I bought this at Heroes Con.
That's right, from Mr. Dale Roberts.
Yeah.
Back to the unboxing.
I remember when I got this book, I sprinted down the gravel driveway because
Back in the
I'm
day.
like, what the hell's going on? And Claremont and Cockerman and Byrne during this run, they were really good at when you took that first page. You always felt like I can remember like reading this and then going back like, did I miss something the issue before? Because like you always felt like you jumped in halfway into a movie, and they were so good at that. And I always think in my head it was such a long run. It wasn't that long a run. I mean, it was like less than $50.
So you got one of these in the old brown wrapped paper with the glue that was stuck on the front cover, and you had the big crease.
Yep.
Yeah, wonderful.
This one's still got some ding. No.
Yeah. So what happened with this one is you got sloppy seconds. So I went to the boxes that Dale had. I grabbed this because this has been always a popular book. I didn't have one, and I grabbed the best copy. And then I said, "Hey, Patrick, look, there's some copies over here." And you came after I got the best pick. So
so weird to Marvel Comics. It's kind of small font. Anyway, I still think this.
I didn't give this one a grade because it wasn't my book.
I think it's an N2.
Okay, Sylvie says
Boom.
8.5. Yes, close. As long as it was a grenade. Yeah, the one that I have, I would say, is about a 9.92. There was a couple of spine ticks. I tried to find the best copy, and like I said, I called you over after I drank my fill.
What's weird is I've had that copy and then 121. 121 is always nicer.
Yes, it's a white light colored cover.
Well, it's that, but
It's
there's something about it. It just feels different.
Yeah, you don't see the color breaking dress marks. Yeah. This is actually a CPR book. This is mine. One of the person you know, mutual friend, bought this off me. It was a CGC 8.5. It had a little corner ding. So I told him I would sell it to him, clean and press it, submit it as part of the cost. And I'm thinking it came back as better than 8.5.
Survey says.
Yes!
Boom, nailed it.
I should charge you more.
Killed Jack Davis. See, now when I was a little kid, that's all I knew Jack Davis as. I
Mad Magazine, the guy throwing the baseball with a long arm.
Yeah, Mad Magazine and all these sports ads.
Yeah.
So that's all he did.
Yeah.
And at least for me. And I didn't know about EC Comics. They were long gone by the time.
I did buy the Russ Cochran reprints in the early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I was buying all those weird, Tales from the Vampire and all those macabre, Warren magazines. And then I saw the Russ Cochran reprints, and I thought they were just more of those, Warren-style things, not knowing they were actually throwbacks to the EC period. And they were black and white, and I just fell in love with EC. It was the start of my EC obsession, probably, 75 or 76? I was like 7, 8 years old, getting that stuff.
Was it the Gladstone?
But no, that was later. That was like the second or third time.
What were they? Who was it?
So Russ Cochran originally reprinted, but they were black and white.
No, there was one. So there was a series that came out in 73, 74.
Yeah, they reprinted it in color. Yeah, they did it at least three times.
Yeah.
A
couple of them I actually like the covers better.
This one I got from my guys over there at Super World. I would think it was in Chicago, and they had a bunch of these. So X-Men 130 newsstand edition.
Nice.
Well, I just lost my train of thought. My punchline joke. It's the Taylor Swift cover.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's the rumor.
I don't know what this is, but it was a nice looking copy.
Boom.
9.0 newsstand. Yeah, I figured I better get this graded and sell it before too late. Before Deadpool movie comes out. Oh, that's right. I got 2 of them. And this is just a regular direct.
I think I have 2 8.5s of that now.
Now that one actually had a little corner crease in the back, so I'm actually surprised it came back a 9. I would have thought like an 8, 8.5.
This one's definitely nicer.
Yeah, this was a nicer one. So like I said, I got 2 of them from Super World. Thanks Adam and Joe. So this one I thought was probably a 9.40, 9.6. I didn't write it down.
Boom.
Yes, 9.6 white pages.
Sure.
Yeah, so these are for sale.
Now this one is a direct edition.
Yeah, the other one's newsstand, this one's the direct edition.
So whenever they ran out, they would do that line through them. Yeah. And then sometimes...
Yeah, that's right.
That usually, like, we used to get them in Whitman bags, and they would have that triangle, but not always.
Yeah, those were those hybrid ones where they ran out of direct editions and they had to go back to the stash and cross out the newsstand barcode. Oh yeah, this is yours. I'm like, wait, I don't remember this one. It's your book.
It's another Heroes Con. It's just a great cover. Decent copies, not flawless.
Oh wait, was this the one that, look at the back? There was one of these that had like I'll cover it up. It had a stain. One of these X-Men books, maybe the other one. I think you had a 140.
I bought this from the guy that
I got. Your Wolverine had a stain. Okay,
I got the Hulk 3 from. So I bought this and a whole stack of them all together.
Survey says, boom, 7.5. That might have been the one with this. I saw one that had a light stain in the back. That might have been.
Yeah, that was probably it because I thought this was an 8.0.
Here, check the seams on that. At the top and the bottom, we didn't check the last couple.
They are same thing.
Okay, so it wasn't a one-off.
No.
Actually, yeah, this one's all 4 sides.
Yeah,
usually you can push your fingernail in on 90% of these.
Does that look a little different to you too?
We can. We'll look at it closer off camera. There's no need. Again, we're not one of those channels. If you want to have a second between.
This was a 9.8.
Oh, you know what? I got to do this. Hold on. I was going to do this too. My other circumstantial evidence that I had. So this is a case. This is the 2nd gen case, version 1.3 actually. Oh, interesting.
Color's a little darker.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a different formulation of plastic. Yeah, maybe we'll do a video on that. I still want to crack open one of these cases here because my suspicions are...
See how easy it is.
There's a few security enhancements, and I think looks like the plastic is a little bit different.
Is it a little angled like that?
Yes, that's the bevel for the hose labeling. Yeah. But you probably can't see it. Maybe we'll put a picture up. But the color, this case from last year and earlier is a little bluer. That one's got more of a grayish tint. I wonder if they changed the plastic.
I know that was something people complained about.
Okay, anyways, back to unboxing. This is one of my friends. I gave it a 6.5. 6.5.
I have a 6.5 like this.
Yeah, it's Jim's copy. Actually, I got that in the trade, and he stopped at my house when I got it, and I said, I didn't want to try. I wanted to sell some stuff, and I need the cash for some shows I was going to. And I said, do you want to buy this book? And I said, I got it for like $200. I go, it's yours, $200. I'll even grade it. So he got a good deal on it. I think 6.5 goes.
These I just did because I had them in the box. Oh, I forgot to say, every single book in this box was this, and you all could have had them cheap.
Turn that volume down. Yeah. You want to do a shootout? We got 2 of them.
Let's do that.
Yep.
Spider-Man 2099.
I tried to get Rick Leonardi to come up to the show last year. Speaking of which, July 12th and 13th, we'll be doing the 2-day Empire Comic Fest, EmpireComicFest.com. All comic vendors. We had 35 comic vendors last time, which is more comic vendors than New York Comic Con had, more than Chicago Fan Expo had.
Yeah, the cons, for those of you who don't go, they really are turning more into like sci-fi, pop culture.
Funko shows.
Yeah, there are a lot of Funko, a lot of dressing and stuff like
that.
Which is great.
If you have money to spend and you want to see all the bells and whistles.
Or that's what you're into.
But if you're looking just to collect comics, the selection's getting tough. I was surprised New York Comic Con had 21 comic dealers, which I think is the smallest they've ever had. Whereas, Empire Show has 34, 35.
And it's floor to ceiling.
They're not all high profile dealers at the Empire Show, but it's a show you can spend a couple of days digging through boxes.
Yeah, and I'd say probably the prices are much lower than.
Oh yeah, a lot of original owner stuff. Guys that don't do the circuit, so you see a lot of new to the market collections. I've gotten some killer Golden Age books, Timely's.
Mike and I both have a whole bunch of new stuff too that we're bringing.
Yeah,
I mean a lot.
Okay,
we've been busy over the winter. All right, survey says.
Oh, you got a 9. I got a 9.6.
All right, well, that's what I was hoping for.
Oh, you got at least one.
I wonder.
And you know what? Those are sealed on all 4 sides too.
Yeah. I think you'd be one tiny non-color breaking, and that's it. Boy, they were harsh on this book. Anyway, both white pages, so these will be at the show. They were.
They were before.
I forgot about those.
Nobody bought those.
I forgot about these Wolverine
books. You got a whole run of them here.
Yeah.
Wolverine number 2, limited series.
And I bought these all together off the shelf when I was a kid, so these all got read.
Oh, these were you had your little grimy hands on.
Oh yeah, my little grimy hands. This is 19,
wow, because these are nice condition.
82, so I was like 11.
These are actually, especially this one coming up here, this black cover. Yeah. This one's exceptionally nice. I'm impressed that you kept them that nice.
Yeah, I was pretty good at reading them. I didn't eat I'd eat the Hostess fruit pies and then wash my hands.
Fruit pie, the magician.
All right. Well, this one is. I don't know. I think this one's like an 8.5.
75. This is the one that had the stain in the back. There's a stain when I was getting it ready. I saw something somewhere. Yeah, right there.
Okay. It is faint.
Yeah, it's like almost like a foxing. Yep. It's a big old fat fruit pie thumbprint. Looks like cherry flavor.
God, those fruit pies are so good.
Oh, you know why? Because they're almost all Crisco.
Yeah.
We used to call them power pies. So back when we used to do our volleyball games at college, we always ate one of those power pies out of the vending machine before we played because it would give you enough energy to last a month.
Look how sad Wolverine is.
Oh, sad Wolverine.
No one's friends with Wolverine.
No one to murder today.
Survey says, boom.
9.6. Amazing for a black color copy that you actually manhandled years and years ago.
I bought these at Empire Comics.
Wow. The store, not the show.
That's weird. This is a newsstand.
I just noticed that. That one's not. You bought them all supposedly in the same place. They had a mix.
So I wonder if they somehow got their hands on newsstands there.
Oh, this one's also sealed on all 4 sides.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait. This is slightest. Yeah, this one I can get a little bit of a purchase on it, but wow, they're all like sealed a little bit better. Interesting.
It's got a little bit of a bend.
What could that mean? I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Survey says
1. 9.4. Wow.
And the number 1 from this was a 9.8. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got that back a while ago.
Yeah. I got rid of that a long time ago.
That's the end.
That was the last one. So short, a lot more talking, less comics. I guess I could have brought all those ones that I bought, but
a little preamble there.
I was pretty busy on Comic Link, the last auction, and the next one I think starts the 9th, February 9th.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. The art ends. I think. What is today?
Today's the 7th.
So I think the art
February
section
7th.
ends on the 12th or 13th.
Mm-hmm.
They start a week after that. So
okay.
Sometime around the 19th, 20th, I think, of February.
Yeah. That's kind of fun.
Mm.
Not a lot. I mean, other than that, I mean, con season doesn't really start up.
There's been no news in the last 2 months.
Yeah. I've been watching some of that. I stay mostly away from it. There's a couple channels I watch, and I figure they'll keep me up on it.
So I guess back to our initial discussion there, just briefly to touch on it again, recap. It's good to share information to help the community. We could talk a lot about our thoughts and opinions, which would take days and months. I talk about it all day long at my job, so it's tiring.
I would be doing a 10-second skip.
But I'll say from our cursory inspection on 12 books, I would say they've changed the way that they seal the cases. The Interwell definitely, we'll put a picture up and show you the difference here between the new Interwell seal and what was sealed a few months ago. And I'm assuming it's part of their whole improvement investigation that they found. But even better is the outer case seems to be sealed on all 4 sides, which those of you that do the cleaning and pressing, open these cases, having all 4 sides sealed a la CBCS is really tough to crack open. And then we'll do a little more. I think I'm going to look at the off-camera how the case opens and cracks. We'll see if there's different plastic formulation, but hopefully that helps some of you out there, to identify the newer case, look for those rounded corners, and maybe that helps people, calm down a little bit about whether or not the book has been tampered with or if they have a newer design case. And then you can put in the title of this, CGC's brand new design, and get 5 million hits.
We can do like the faceplant pictures.
Oh
my God, what am I going to do? The other thing too, we don't normally give advice, but I like to try to find somebody, even if it's online, at shows, yes, find somebody you like to, we always talk about Dale Roberts and Superworld and other places we like to buy stuff from, but you can do the same thing online and, buy a few things and see how it goes with them and find that they're trustworthy. If they have 10,000 sales and they have, 99%, chances are that they're doing things right. That's just what I've always done. There's a few that I like and that I buy from. And then you got your auction houses. Those are usually pretty safe. My comic shop's always good. I do think overall, if you buy raw from my comic shop, they seem to undergrade, and I'm sure it's intentional. I think their grading's pretty good too. At least I've always gotten good stuff from them. Yeah,
shout out to Ted Van Loo. A couple years ago, I think it was at Baltimore show. I was there at his table, 2017ish or so, and somebody walked up and said to Ted, hey, I bought this raw Spider-Man 14 from you last year, and he paid like $2,000 for it. It was a mid-grade copy. And he goes, I got home and there was a page missing. And Ted didn't even hesitate. Ted goes, okay, I'll give you back a full refund. So, I did it before that incident, but it always inspired me to hear that. And my policy has always been and always will be, and on eBay right now, my description says I am a professional grader. Not that I attest to be professional, but I will treat it as a professional transaction.
I hate that when people say that. It's a human thing, and I don't grade comics.
We don't want to get into that in this channel, but people that have comic shops and businesses in their actual name, and then in the description they say you're going to buy it as is, no refunds. Well, I can't grade. I don't know how to grade. Decide yourself.
They've been selling comics for 30 years.
So
20,000 sales.
Whether there's a controversy or anything, things will happen again. I've always had the policy of,
if someone takes crappy pictures, that really tells you something. If they can't, everyone has a great camera in their pocket right now. To me, that's done intentionally. If you see blurry, crappy, poorly lit pictures, there's a reason for it.
We're opening Pandora's can of whoop-ass here, but whatever happens, I've always, like you were saying, just find reputable dealers. The policy I've always had has always been, refunds, no questions asked, whether it's 2 months or 2 years. I've done it. 3 years has been the longest refund that I've ever given somebody after 3 years of purchase, and because I'll stand behind the product, regardless of whatever's happening in the community or some omission that I've overlooked, like restoration or missing pages. So we got 2 boxes coming back next week.
Vintage.
Walkthrough vintage.
Oh yeah.
So I got a whole bunch of stuff coming back. Some great stuff. Just kind of gearing up for the convention season. I got a lot of stuff I've been sitting on that I'll be selling this summer. So we have to jump on that.
Mike and I did this pre-grade thing before we send stuff in, and some really nice stuff. They're sitting right behind the camera here.
Oh yeah.
And Mike's has been to a couple cons already. So. Just last weekend.
Nonstop. I just was there 2 days ago. Not 2 days ago. 4 days ago, MegaCon. I was down there talking to people.
We got a bunch of stuff, and right now the times look good. 20 for moderns and 30 for vintage. So their process improvement definitely from 1 year down to a couple of weeks. Well, the other thing too is you watch these videos and people are saying, well, I'm not going to send anything in, or I'm going to hold off, or maybe I'm going to send to CBCS, and until I see prices change drastically.
Well, and those guys on the fence, I will say 99% assuredness, there are some minor design changes in that case. We'll look at some more things off camera, but definitely it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and then obviously I'm sure they're doing stuff internally.
Stuff you'll never know about.
A lot of people like to make hay, and they can, but anyway, I guess I'll read your comments. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next one.
Yep, see you guys soon. Bye.
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
Love what you have, not what you want.
Oh yeah,
and that
pack
means
safely.
Money. And also, sell the grade, buy the book.
And if you can't pack safely, drop them off in person.
There we go.
Bye.